The second experience was more so like a series of impressions that I was getting. There really wasn't too many visuals. There was like some light, but that was kind of besides what was going on or what was being said or shared to me. Essentially, what was taking place was I was in this space of light, and Rebisar was, I knew I could see Rebisar in a sense, kind of with my awareness, not necessarily visually, but he was there on the right-hand side, sort of standing in front of me. And he had his hands by his waistline, sort of like his hands together, almost like how, like maybe like or I guess just how anybody would stand, kind of you have your hands together and they're sitting near your waistline. And then Duane was there, and Duane came up to the front of me. Duane came up right up to me, and he said, a lot of the new friends don't care about what's happening to the earth or on the earth. And we really need everybody to care or to see what's going on and you know, take part in what we're doing here. You know, and you know, I can see that for certain individuals that I know, you know, wanting to get them to take part, to sort of get on the ball, you might say, and certain things like that. But you know, that's a big reason why we have the Skypes and all that, is to share and sort of show up. And so I just wanted to share that also.
Yes, and again, it's yes, we can know this, and that's noted, you know, and the reality is in the doing and the intent, and it's very, very important. So you know, you look at Rebisar, again, it's body language is what it is. You know, it's like your parents when they when you were, well, it could be at the age you're at now, whatever. You know, all of a sudden they come to your room or something, and then they just stand there with their hands on their hip and just look at you. Well, you know that body language, right? So again, that's the idea, and it's in the caring factor. And so what we're doing here on the Skype, yes, we're sharing, but that's like in the planning room. And you don't want to stay stuck in the planning room. You want to actually do something, and you really want to develop caring sincerely with everything that you do, and every means. I was just talking to a neighbor of mine, that's why I was late here. He's a good guy. His name is Mauricio, and he fixes our cars whenever speaks English. He's right across from us, and known him for years, and is a sweetheart. But at the same time, lately he's been, and he had done it before, lately he's been playing his boomer rap music. And so he started to turn it on while we were over in the flower fields over here. So I just immediately went over there because the boomer was going through everything. And I just confronted him about this, you know, sincerely and nicely. And I said, you know, that vibration and that noise that you hear on your radio, that destroys the cells in your body, and it does the same to others. And you are responsible. And he didn't know. He said, really? I said, yes. And it's very, very real. And you and the neighbor, we got a neighbor, Benjamin, too. He's a good guy, too, but he does the same thing. He usually plays this loud, raunchy rap music. He's down the street a ways. And I said, all that affects them. And Benjamin has children. And that goes into the subconscious and creates all kinds of problems for the individual. And so, do you want to be responsible for that, or do you want to wake up? And Morris listens, and I told him a few other things because he's a really good mechanic, and I want him to do some water cars and things like that down here. And so he listened, and so, but I'm not afraid to confront people, etc. I'm confronting the governments, I'm confronting whatever, and they're listening. So again, put it bluntly, people need to get off their ass and really care and do something. Because in Eckankar, the idea is that, oh, it's just the earth, it means nothing. Well, you know, these are people like the ALLLISSS that sit around thinking that everything should just come to them. But no, you really have to do it. So when I was in Eckankar, I worked very hard at my construction, whatever, and things did come. Things would line up, but I worked it out too. But it's come to where it's so passive that people expect it to be done for them, and that's not how it is. But each person decides. And so that's the idea here. And those people that are here will be part of what we're doing here, or they can go someplace else. That's the whole idea. That's my focus. Again, I've said this many times, and the rest of the world can do whatever they want, but as long as I'm doing what I'm doing here, then I'm looking for those people to be that care and that are sincere about helping the earth. Yes, because it's important. As long as you're here and others, yes, you, Jeremy, and others, you're young. You're going to be here a long time. And you got a lot more suffering to do, and that's just part of it. And there's no la la land, but it's in the doing. And yes, that's very, very real because, you know, first people come for the knowledge and information, and they're all excited. But after a while, they get a little bored because they don't know what to do, or they've never done this or that. Well, you start somewhere, a step at a time. You decide something that makes sense with the earth and the environment, because you've probably already got a house with bad electricity, you probably already got a car, you're probably already buying junk food and everything else, which is fine. You're already doing that, so why not do something that really makes sense and to help others, etc. And again, that's why as I look at this as I go along, why I've created the intuitive senses survival sessions. And I just talked to a fella yesterday in the UK. He had read the books, found me 6 years ago, he said, and finally came up. And we talked for about an hour on one of the sessions. I asked them to contact Kevin there because he's in the UK too. And so he was very appreciative. He even wanted to give me some money or whatever. I said, no, you don't have to do that. He's a musician. He's a struggling artist. And I said, well, you have the opportunity to create something harmonious with the new you and spread that around, etc. And he also teaches people different musical instruments, etc. So again, just to constantly look at things and do things. And for you, Jeremy, you're very open to this. And so you have the opportunity to become very, very involved. And Paul and Rebisar and the boys are very creative in creation to nurture people to get through this process. Because, you know, just as I was looking over at the sunflowers that are growing over there in the field, and all of a sudden there's like a little bee on each one of them, but seeing all their thousands of faces, it's like newborn babies. They're like newborn babies, and these are little awarenesses that are sprouting, and this is what life is. It has these body forms, but this is awareness. And this is what I was telling Morris across the street there. I said, you know, the trees, the plants, the animals, they're awareness. And the birds don't do this knucklehead stuff. And he agreed. He said, no, they don't. I said, you know, we need to make better choices so that we're all okay here, so that we can get on. Otherwise, you're going to be coming into future lifetimes, and it's going to be a lot worse. Do you want to do that? So again, I suggested, because he's on Facebook too, I said, get on my page and read this stuff, educate yourself, and become more aware. So yeah, you are given many opportunities, Jeremy. Lucky you. Most people, they don't pay attention. They don't care. You got to really care. And when you sincerely care, the guides will bring you in something unique. And it's going to take a lot. And you're going to go through suffering and whatever. That's how it is. But in the long run, it's going to come out better for you and others. Yes, thank you for sharing.